So basically, so what is it that we're trying to repeat? And we have been talking about this during the Rebrand Mastermind, and that's this. We have to be repeating the USP, right? So is the USP our tagline? No, it's not our tagline. The USP is really the way we do business is different from other people. In other words, what does somebody have to come to us to get that they can't get anyplace else? The way we do business, what we deliver, how we deliver it doesn't really matter, but we do need to have something. And especially when it comes to information marketing, there's so many people that have free reports, right? There's so many people that have free videos. There's so many people that have, let's say, the full product, and all those things are great. But now, if you're going to set yourself apart, if you want someone to say, I have got to have that, then you really do have to have something that you do uniquely over and over again, better than other people, that you want to say to people over and over again. It doesn't have to be much, but it does have to be something. And you should be emphasizing whatever your USP is. And if you don't really have something ironed down, take some time really and think about what that is, right? The USP is really what comes back down to what's going to separate you from everybody else. And again, especially as information marketers, where everybody's a social media ninja, everybody is sort of knowing, everybody's a coach, right? So probably you're great, but there are a lot of good people out there, and they're just as great as you are. And sometimes it doesn't matter whether or not they're better than you or you're slightly better than them. It is really a matter of you being clear and that you repeat over and over again what people are getting uniquely from you, right? So now, when it comes to rebranding text, you need to have something that you're repeating. That's your USP. You need to be something that you're advertising, right? That's your call to action, right? What do you want people to do when they first meet you, right? That's what I call advertising. If I don't know you, you are advertising to me. What are you going to drive me to? Typically, it's going to be an opt-in page, and you need to have a call to action to that opt-in page that's going to be strong. It needs to be one line. It needs to be something that you can say succinctly. It needs to be something that when I look at it in text, I know it's for me. I click on it. I go to your landing page. That's the next step. It should drive me to click that link. It should drive me inside of your text document. It doesn't matter what the text document is. Even if you're dealing with literally a TXT document that isn't clickable, you should have something in that TXT document that's a call to action that says to me, hey, you know what? If I go here, something's going to happen. Something good that I want is going to happen. And so you got to have that also when you're rebranding text documents, right? Again, you might feel like, well, it's just a Word document or it's just a PDF, and, I got it as part of this, I got it as part of this package, and I did a giveaway, and I already got their name and email address. Well, that's fine, even if you already got their name and email address. You want to have some opportunity to drive them to your call to action. Now, why do you want to do that? Sometimes you'll get a name or an email address that might not be their best one. But if you have a great call to action where you've got something that they've got to get, then they're going to give you their best email address, because whatever it is you're offering at that point, they don't want to miss it, right? What are you promoting, right? So in other words, you need to have something that you're repeating. You need to have something that you are advertising in your text document. You need to have something you are promoting. What is your most recent product? What is your most recent offer? If you're offering a service, right, what can I get from you right now? What is your introductory offer to me? Your best offer. And it should be there in your text document someplace where I can click on it. And yes, and I'm going to show you this here in a minute, it might seem a little bit overkill, but it isn't really overkill, because these documents pass by people. We get Word documents, we get PDFs all the time. Sometimes we're looking at them on our mobile device. Sometimes we're looking at them on our PC. Sometimes we're even printing them out. And so you have to be able to have something that you're promoting, something that is your most recent offer, your most recent promotion, your top stuff that I can get right now. Now, one of the things that I suggested that you do, that you have something, and let's just take a look at this. If I go to this site, and what I'm going to do is, remember, I have a plugin here that is called Affiliate Link Cloaking. Let's see if we get to it quickly. And remember now, this plugin, Affiliate Link Cloaking, allows me to do something like this. I'm going to add a new link, and this is going to be my domain name, whatever my domain name is, right? What do I want to do? Well, what I want to do is I want to have something like new or recent, right? It's good. And this then becomes interchangeable, right? So anytime that I have something that's new, I want to switch out that offer, right? I want to switch that out so that whenever somebody clicks on the new thing or I place that new offer, right, you can place it in some place. Yeah, somebody else said they've got Pretty Links Pro. It's pretty much the same thing, Jim. I know some of these attempt to keep the link hidden. Some of them attempt to hide them. I don't know how successful they are in encrypting links anymore. I think Google can see through those links, but I don't really think you have to encrypt them. I think as long as you have something that's always new and that you can switch out this offer so that whenever somebody clicks on that domain, on that URL that says yourdomainname.com/new, they're always going to get your most recent offer, right? So you don't have to change out the, change the URL in all your documents. So in other words, the only thing you're going to be changing out, you're going to change it out inside of your site. You're not going to have to go back and change all of your documents, right? You want to have one link in your documents, and then you want to change out that document. Okay, now the other thing that you and I have to do before we set up our call to action, because the call to action is going to be the most important thing, right? Because most people in the world don't know us yet. Most people in the world, even if they know you, they don't know how awesome you are yet. And so you're going to have to get them even before you get their trust. Sometimes you're not going to be able to get their trust right away. You're going to have to get their email address and build trust. Right, so yes, people do business with those with whom they know, like, and trust, but sometimes you have to start someplace in a relationship. And so what are you going to offer them so that you can establish that trust? Now remember, one of the things that we looked at yesterday, we looked at what is a good example of a landing page, right? What we've been talking about. Let's go to the AppSumo landing page. Okay, so this is going to, in a minute, it's going to switch up here. Okay, now, remember, what do we like about this landing page? Everybody remember? Number one, now, I mean, it doesn't really matter about the company and the logo. Here's what we have. We sort of have their USP, right? Which is they do small business software, right? Friends don't let friends pay full price. Join our email list and get software deals delivered straight to your inbox, right? Very simple. You don't, and now one of the things that I want to point out to you again that we pointed out in the rebranding graphics section is that it doesn't have to be fancy. It's really about the message. Do I want this, right? Would I like to have software deals delivered straight to my inbox? I probably do. And so what you've got to work on more than anything else is the USP, right? The USP is what will get people to opt in. It's not going to be the fact that you're giving away something. It's not going to be the fact that you're giving away a free video. It's not going to be the fact that you're going to give away an e-course. Listen, e-courses at this point, before somebody knows you, I'm talking about when somebody first meets you, you have to give them something based on their self-interest, right? This is about me, right? When I come to this page, it's all about me, right? They figured out it's all about me. Do I want software deals delivered straight to my inbox? Yes. I'm going to put my name and email address in there and click the button that says send me deals, right? So basically you and I have to put something together on a landing page first, right? And I would suggest you do that before you start rebranding text. You need to have some kind of, I'd say, irresistible offer based on what you deliver better than anybody else, right? I don't know. Maybe AppSumo doesn't deliver this better than anybody else, but they do a good job of it. Whatever it is you do, right? Now, it's not even about you trying to copy off of them, but you should have something you deliver better than anybody else. It has to be something that's going to be irresistible. Right now, When we do this offer, right, I want you to notice something. I want you to notice the URL. The URL says appsumo.com/some other stuff here. Right now, when we do that, I want to take you back to the page that we looked at here before, because it's important in this sense. And this is something, again, I'm pretty sure you know this, but if I go to the reading section of my WordPress site, now if you're not using WordPress, I mean, that's fine. What I'm basically doing here is I'm setting up my home page so that when I send people to the home page, what do I want to send them to? If somebody's going to my home page, they probably don't know me. So what do I want them to do? I want them to see what I want them to see, and typically what I'm going to want them to see is going to be some kind of opt-in. That being said, let's say you don't want to do your home page as an opt-in. One of the things that you're going to be able to do, and you want to have in your page builder, whether or not it's connected to your website or not, is that you and I have to be able to have something where we can clone, and this is what you do inside of Optimized Press. Now, I'm pretty sure you can do this in other senses, but you just want to be able to take your same opt-in page and click clone it, right? I want to clone that opt-in page, right, just like I'm doing here. And what I want to do then? Well, what I want to do then is I want to make sure then that this opt-in page has a different address, right? I can change this. New opt-in page, or whatever you would make it, right? Now, the advantage of having something like this with your page builder is that I can create opt-in pages quickly, and every time I have a new document, right, I might want to take the same opt-in page and I want to do something slightly different, right? So let's say that I do one product and it's going to be about Facebook. Well, then I might want to set up my opt-in page so that so that when the person clicks from my Facebook product, they click to an opt-in page that's going to be related, right? And you can do that very easily, and all you should be doing with your opt-in page is cloning it and making a few tweaks to it. Now, I know we're talking about rebranding text, but you have to do this before you start the rebrand process. Otherwise, it's not rebranding. Right? Rebranding is, what are we going to repeat over and over again? What are we trying to get into people's minds? And again, the text documents are the things that we typically leave out, not because we don't know to do it, not because we don't know how to do it. It's because we look at it as extra. And all of these little documents, all these little things we do are the things that matter because they're cumulative over time. Okay, so we just talked about the AppSumo page. Remember, we have, so again, we have the call to action there. We have the USP there, so you can do that on your opt-in page. Again, the style is not important. You know, I guess there are some styles that are going to convert better than others, and sometimes you're going to, you know, put some things on the right side or on the upside. But I'd say first, before you start worrying about, you know, where your logo is going to be and all that stuff, get your message right, get your call to action ready, get your USP so it's irresistible, and your call to action so it's irresistible, and then get a current offer. Right now, when I put my name and email address in here, what's going to happen? I want to come back here. What's going to happen? Well, I'm going to put my name and email address in here. Right, and then I'm going to click Send Me Deals. Let's see. No, I got to put my. Okay, there it is. Okay, so now I just put my name and email address in there, and I get the current deal. Again, really, really simple stuff. That's the way it really needs to work, right? Just that simple. And you can do something that simple. You don't have to do anything complicated. What is your best offer right now? What is the best thing you have going right now? Right? Put that offer, make it available so that as soon as somebody opts in, they see this. Right now, yeah, they're going to probably get some emails from you, and you're going to tell them how cool you are and what they're about to get and all that stuff. That's cool. But you may not ever see them again. They may not ever get their email address. They may not ever go to their inbox. So now what you've got to do is you've got to make sure you've got to give them your current, your best, your coolest offer, right? Is everybody with me on that? Right? So again, before we start the rebrand process, this is the stuff you have to do first. I'm going to assume that you are going to set those things up. All right, so what is it that we can rebrand? What documents can we rebrand? Okay, so first, we can rebrand the ebook guide. Now, what I'm going to do is we're just going to pull open an ebook guide. And typically, that's going to come in a Word document of some kind. Let's just say that it's some kind of Word document. So where can we rebrand? What is that we can do? Well, we can definitely change the graphics, but I'm talking about going a little further than that. Probably the easiest thing for us to do is going to be, we're just going to double click right inside of the header. And what we're going to do is we're just going to put something in there, right? We're just going to, I think we can center in here, right? I think we can align in here, right? We align the text in here. And then we're going to put our call, we're going to either kind of put our USP or our call to action in here, right? We'll put your domain .com, right? Or what we could do is we make this our USP, right? We say something like on-screen video tutorials in 30 minutes or less, something like that. Right? We want to reinforce what we do. And what are we going to do there? We're going to make this into some kind of hyperlink. Right? What do we want to hyperlink to? Well, we want to hyperlink to, right? Let's see, where's our link here? We want to hyperlink to either our call to action, right, or our current offer, right? So what this is going to be is our landing page. Okay, really simple stuff, right? So that every time somebody comes across this first page, it's always going to be there in the header, right? Call to action, right? Some kind of call to action. What can we also do? We come down to the bottom and we're going to do our footer, right? What are we going to put in the footer? Well, what are we repeating? USP. What are we advertising? Call to action. What's our most recent product? So maybe we've got our USP up here. And maybe we're going to say, get your free pre-analysis, business analysis, right? And consultation or something. So once again, all we're really doing is we're just lining these things up, and then we're just going to link to these things. Right now, if you the most important thing is that you get the message right, right? So it's not so much again that you are you're trying to fool anybody here, right? We're just putting this link in here. I just put google.com just to have it in here. So now on every page we're going to have call to action and our USP. Right, really simple when it comes to the to a Word document. Right, that's typically where our ebook guide is going to come. Now, license is going to be trickier because you can do the same thing with a license, but typically, sometimes the license is going to be a text document. Right, so we've got a text document here, and I'm going to make this print smaller. Let's do select all. And we're going to format this smaller so you can see it. Okay, so the license is not so much the issue. Let's not worry about the term. What am I going to do with this so that I continue to repeat what I'm trying to repeat, right? Again, this is all real estate that people are going to read. If you waste this space and you treat all this is like a Word doc or a text document, you don't get to advertise. Right? So typically somebody's going to look at the license. So what do you want to do? Well, maybe at the top point, you want to write, right? You want to put there, you want to leave it in their best self-interest for a free 30-minute analysis. Go to, now this URL ought to be short as you can, as easy to remember as you can. Again, that's nothing earth-shattering, But what you don't want to do is you don't want to waste this real estate, right? This is valuable real estate right here that people are going to read. And it's very easy to do. You just need to make sure that it's going to be easy for them to grab the URL. In this case, I'm just going to put, you want to make it easy for them to grab the URL, right-click it, and go to the site, right? Whether or not they're on their mobile device or they're on their personal computer, right? What else can you do? Well, naturally, you're gonna put down something down here at the bottom, right? Typically, what I like to do, because they've already done the reading, you want to put this in all caps in some kind of way. Now, this is probably not going to be, again, the place for a message. You're going to want to put some kind of call to action that's going to be in their best self-interest here, and you're typically going to want to put this in all caps. I'm not going to walk through that process right now, but does everybody understand what I'm saying? Right, so if you get what I'm saying, please put the number 4 in the question box. Right, with your text document, with your license that you are passing on, you have the opportunity to use that real estate, and you're just using it wisely, right? You're using it wisely. Every time you get a chance to put your message in front of people, you have to take the opportunity. It doesn't take a lot of brains. It doesn't even take a lot of fanciness. It just takes discipline. It takes a checklist. You need to add this to your systems and your processes, and then make sure it happens. Right now, okay, anything that you're inserting, right, anything that you're inserting, if you're going to do an insert of some kind, maybe you're going to do a special offer of some kind, again, that's typically going to come in the form of a PDF. One of the things that you want to make sure you're doing, I'm going to show you something. When you are passing on, you get something that's got master resale rights, let's say. Here's something that has a license, right? Do I want to take that license as is? Well, no, I don't want to take the license as is. Let's extract the license. Okay, so this license comes with a PDF. So what are we going to have to do with this PDF, right? It's an insert. I need to change this license, and I also need to rebrand it. Now, again, changing it to make sure that everybody's got the correct rights is not rebranding. Rebranding is adding in your USP, call to action, current offer, right? All those 3 things. So when it comes to a PDF, if you have Adobe Acrobat, right, all you're really going to try to do here is you're going to try to save this as another document, right? And typically what you can do is you can export this to a Word document, right? Now I realize that not everybody has Adobe Acrobat, but if you do have it, it's fairly easy for you to just export the document to Microsoft Word, and you're going to make changes. So even if you have a PDF, that PDF is going to be changeable, and you just want to export that to Microsoft Word. Now there's services online. I think they're probably free where you can do it, where you can take a PDF and you can then export it into a Microsoft Word document. I mean, you could copy and paste it. I mean, but here, all we're going to do here is we're going to redo this, right? And how are we going to redo it? We're just going to click on top of here, right? And then we're going to add in our USP. We're going to come down to the bottom. We're going to add in our footer, right? And then we're just going to then resave it as a PDF, right? Really, really simple, but very easy to do. Yeah, Dana says they're all over the place in Google, right? Dana Castle says they're all over the place in Google, and that's true, right? You're going to be able to find them, right? But if you have an Adobe Creative Cloud, then you have Adobe Acrobat, right? And Adobe Acrobat has a lot of kind of neat little things you can do with it like that. Okay, let's talk a little bit about working with your presentation, right? So you get a presentation. And let's see, I did the last one first. I already did the PDF, so let's go back and let's work with your presentation, right? It's a little different working with a presentation, but it can still be done. And so what do I want to do with this, right? What do I want to do with this? Well, I'm not going to do with the header and the footer. I'm just going to go to the View command, and I'm going to go to the slide master. Right now, the slide master. So what am I going to do? Well, in the slide master, if you recall, if you've been through our PowerPoint course, you know that what you can do is you can take any of the master documents and you can place your call to action here inside of the footer. Right? If you want to take any of the content slides, you can put this inside of the footer. Now, if you just want to change the whole thing so that everything that shows up, right, you take the master slide and you can make your changes and add in whatever you want to add in here, whether or not it's going to be your call to action or whether or not it's going to be your current offer. Right, again, really simple, but you do have to use this master view in order to do that, so it'll show up inside of all of your document when you're doing a PowerPoint presentation. Now, the other thing that you can do here, I'm going to go here right now. Let's close up that view. And one thing that you can do is you can insert what are called action buttons, right? You can insert an action button. So let's just say that we're going to have, let's put a 3D picture in here. Not that 3D matters, but let's just put one in there. Right now, here's what we can do uniquely in PowerPoint. PowerPoint now has what are called action buttons, right? So now what I can do with this action button is, right, I can hyperlink to a different portion of the presentation, or I can hyperlink to a URL, right? So I can do any of these things. I can hyperlink to a URL. I can hyperlink to a different slide. And so why would I hyperlink to a different part of the presentation? Anybody know? What would help me? What would help me if by going to a different part of the presentation? Well, they can go to the buy button. That's one thing. Yep, Jim, right? We can send them to a buy button. What else could I do? Well, one of the things that I could do here that I suggest you do in any text document is going to be you want to work in areas that are going to be clickable, and you want to always create a reference page. Right? Now, again, this is a discipline. Right? Reference page is a discipline, and it's something that needs to be something that, I know it's not fancy, and it's not, let's say, super ninja, but it's something that people do sometimes, myself included, right? But it needs to be all the time. And you need to always have a reference page, and you need to always direct people to your reference page. What's going to be on there? Well, what's going to be on your reference page? That's where, if you're going to have affiliate links, yeah, a resources page, or Jim says that like a resources page. If you're going to have affiliate links, that's where it needs to be. Right, but you need to draw people's attention to it. You need to tell them they're going to have a resource page. So where are all your evergreen offers going to be? If your customer's business, right, then you want to have stuff in there like the autoresponders where you're a affiliate, the page builder where you're an affiliate, the membership software that you're an affiliate, and don't have 10 of them. Right? Don't put, well, I'm going to, if you can get Aweber, you get response, you can get ConvertKit. Yeah, recommend one, right? It's a reference page. It's a recommendations page. And recommendations page has power if there's one thing that's sort of like the thing you're recommending, right? So again, the power in that, in rebranding, is that now if you're going to have affiliate links, you're going to send someone away from your brand and you're going to send people away from your site, these are where you're going to put evergreen resources. And again, in my opinion, you should not be sending people to an offer that's going to be just a launch offer. In this case, right? Not from your product, not from your inside stuff. Again, find from an email, find from, your social media posts, but when it comes to your product, you're trying to keep money circulating inside of your business. Does that make sense? So if you're going to do that, do this on a resources page, right? But try to send people to links that you have. And again, I mean, this is where if you have PLR offers, you should have them posted. You should have them hosted so that you can refer to your offers. right? Keep money circulating in your business. Don't send it outside your business. And the only exception should be your references page. It should be your recommendations page. And again, these should be evergreen resources, right? Things that people traditionally, perennially have to have, not launch offers, right? Not where they're going to get tied up on somebody's list and they're going to get emailed all the time. You don't want to do that, even if it does convert and you make a bunch of sales. You're trying to build. Rebranding is about people repeating, understanding that they're getting value from you. And you can't do that if you're sending people off to affiliate offers all the time. And again, I understand that sometimes you're sending people to places where you're going to be able to make some money, right? You're sending people to places where you know things are going to convert. But ultimately, you and I, if we get people opted in, and we've already got their attention, we have to at least try to get them to pay attention to the things that we are offering, right? Does that make sense? Right? So if you don't have these things in a system, put them in a system, and quite frankly, this is something that you can outsource to somebody. If you have a VA, right? If you have somebody in your family working with you, you can outsource this so that it happens every time. You just put together a checklist, and you put your documents branding checklist. Do I have a PDF? Here's what you need to put there. Do I have a Word document? Do I have a PowerPoint document? Anytime you have documents, these are the things that should be happening in them repeatedly. Amanda's question is, does it make sense to edit the content? Yes, it does. And I think you should be editing the content, number one, to reflect the niche and the market you're working in. So in other words, let's say that the ebook is going to be about Pinterest, right? And the people that you are working with are primarily going to be, let's say, small business owners, right? Not so much, let's say they're not going to be other people like you and I. Let's say that they're going to be either small business owners or they're going to be business opportunity people. Well, everything in that ebook should be contextual for the group you're talking to. And so that means you're going to have to add some stuff in there where you're talking to the people about their business, about their kind of business. And it makes the ebook more readable and it makes it more personal, right? And again, you're going to be able to add in, I think, some case studies and some personal examples of things that you know about, as well as things that are going to be relevant. And I think that's what makes it more valuable, and I think that's what makes it more readable and less generic. Okay, so Jim's question is, when I produce a PLR product or resale rights product, is it okay to put these links in text and to give the buyers of the PLR rights the opportunity to edit, or is that considered sneaky? I think what you should do, Jim, if you're going to produce a resale rights product or a PLR product, that you should have a training video in your document that says, these are my links. You should change them to put yours in here, right? So again, I would definitely put your links in there, because not everybody who buys resale rights and PLR buys it in order to resell it. Sometimes they get it and the resale rights are incidental. And when they do that, then you want to give them, right, you want to give them some of your recommendations. And then, look, I mean, you could be helping them too, in that they might then become an affiliate, right? In some cases, you could suggest a second-tier affiliate program. Some of the programs have second-tier affiliate programs where they will, you'll get the credit for a sale, but that you'll also get the credit if they become an affiliate. So you want to try to look those up too, right? That's a good question.